It all started on a Tuesday when David Mearns, a British-born marine scientist turned deep-sea detective, focused his searchlights on a patch of ocean that had been haunted by questions for nearly 7 decades. The vessel he sought had vanished on the night of 19 November 1941, HMAS Sydney II, a proud Australian light cruiser that left port and never returned. For 67 years, the questions multiplied. 645 sailors lost with no survivors. A German auxiliary cruiser, Cormoran, sending back a handful of captured men, and a cloud of conspiracy theories that grew thicker with every unanswered phone call and unopened file. Mearns arrived with sonar maps, a steel hull of a search vessel, and a willingness to listen to the sea. His team followed leads from archival photographs, survivor statements, and family testimony. The German Raiders' commander, Theodor Detmers, had been rescued after the battle, and his account, that the Cormoran had disguised itself as a merchantman and engaged Sydney at close quarters, was the official record. But contradictions, gaps in records, and whispered allegations of friendly fire, a secret operation, or government cover-ups kept the story alive in the national imagination. The tension of the search was less Hollywood than meticulous. Long days trawling grids, analyzing pings, and waiting for faint anomalies to reveal themselves. When the first sonar image of a man-made shape appeared on the screen, it was the Cormoran, the raider found first, her hull collapsed and wreckage strewn across the abyss. It was a bitter vindication for those who had believed the German accounts, yet the mystery of Sydney remained. 2 days later, the echo returned again, but this time the sweep revealed a second, much larger silhouette. With remotely operated vehicles, they descended into the darkness and fed back the first grainy images of HMAS Sydney II. Twisted metal, collapsed superstructure, and gaping scars of fire and explosion. The scale was sobering. Sydney rested on the seafloor at great depth, a war grave with the bones of a ship and the ghosts of 645 sailors. What the wrecks revealed proved decisive. The pattern of damage on Sydney, concentrated amidships with evidence of internal explosions and fires, matched a close-range engagement, not the long-range bombardment imagined by some critics. The positions of both wrecks and the debris fields corroborated survivor testimony from the Cormoran and undermined theories of Japanese submarines or friendly fire conspiracies. Where documents had been ambiguous, iron and coral now told an unemotional story. 2 ships had closed, fought at close quarters. The raider had struck and been scuttled. Sydney had been critically damaged and sank with all hands. The discovery, announced in March 2008, did not erase the years of grief or all the fretting questions about whether every file had been opened. But it changed the debate from speculation to evidence. For the families, Mearns's images answered the most terrible question, what happened to their fathers and sons, and offered a sightline to closure. For historians and naval experts, the finds allowed a forensic reconstruction that validated large parts of the wartime record, while exposing how decades of uncertainty breed conspiracy. The site was declared a protected war grave, no salvage, no souvenir hunting. In the end, the sea gave up its secret not to a government committee or a courtroom drama, but to patient science and the stubborn will of a few investigators. The story of HMAS Sydney II, of loss, rumor, and finally discovery, became a modern Australian parable. Sometimes the past refuses to be tidy, and sometimes truth waits at the bottom of the ocean until someone is willing to listen.